Hello everyone, and today is a special day. Today is June 22nd, and today is the birthday of Paul Morphy. So for only today I decided to show basically the last recorded chess game of Paul Morphy, which is a special chess game of a special chess player in a special day. So in the first place, this is why I start making chess videos. It was for showing the chess games of Paul Morphy. In the beginning, I was not commentating chess games. I was only showing the moves without making any commentary. There was some classical music at the background, and that was basically it. But in these days, I'm commentating chess games. And for Paul Morphy, I'm also showing myself with turning the cam on. But I think this style is not so bad, so maybe I can continue making chess videos like this. Okay, so Paul Morphy retired playing competitive chess in the beginning of 1860. So this is from 1869, and this is again the last recorded game of Paul Morphy, and what a game it was. It's a must-see and a very beautiful chess game, and his opponent was basically his lifelong friend Charles Maurian, who had the black pieces, and Paul Morphy had the white pieces. So he is playing with the knight odds. As you can see, he surrendered his knight on b1. This is, in my opinion, just like many other chess games of Morphy, a very beautiful chess game. So Maurian recorded his chess games that he played against Paul Morphy. Some people are asking, how on earth they were recording chess games back in the day when there was no technology? Well, you only need a piece of paper and a pencil. It is that simple. So in his notebooks, Maurian write the moves that he played against Paul Morphy, like e4, e5, knight to f3, bishop to c4, stuff like that. And you know, that's how they recorded chess games actually back in the day. And then after Morphy's passing, Morphy decided to publish the games that he played against Paul Morphy behind closed doors. He played those games, I believe, in the Morphy mansion, in the house of Paul Morphy, Paul Morphy's home, which is a restaurant in these days, which is known as Brandon's in New Orleans. But back in the day, it was Paul Morphy's home. Interesting, isn't it? So, okay. Let's begin and let's see what happened in this chess game. So, Paul Morphy starts the game with e4, and we have e5, knight to f3, knight to c6. So, you can see that Paul Morphy surrendered his knight because Maurian was so much more weaker than Paul Morphy. And we have the Evans Gambit, and then very classic stuff for that era. And then c takes on d4, bishop goes back, and then d5, knight to e5 exchanging, and then bishop to b2. And already white has quite flexible position, even though white doesn't have his knights. He doesn't have one of his knight, as you can see, but now he has the very strong bishop coordination, and Morphy's bishops is aiming the king side. So queen to f6, and then check. And Maurian decided to move his king. Well, obviously his moves doesn't make much sense actually, but because of that, some very interesting and some very beautiful tactics is going to emerge, is going to be available. Otherwise, had he played very accurately, we would never see these interesting and instructive tactical ideas. So you need to have a weak position so that white can play those tactics on the board. King over, the idea is very simple, unpinning the f-pawn, and at the correct moment Paul Morphy wants to push his f-pawn and open the f-file and release the rook, unleash the rook against the king. So knight to h6, bishop to e2, queen to f4, f3, f6, and then rook to c1, knight to f7, and then rook to c3, queen goes back and lining the queen with the king, bishop to a3, check, moving the king, and then queen to c2 by Paul Morphy. So you can see that his piece coordination is perfect. Bishop to d7 and rook over, queen to g6, bishop to b5. So we have f5, and then Paul Morphy captured the bishop with check. So Maurian is already suffering in this position because Morphy was playing very accurate. Now watch this. This is check, and then c6, d takes on c6, that's check, b takes on c6, and it is white to move. Paul Morphy played e takes on f5, which is some sort of pretty obvious move. And we have queen to f6. Capturing the pawn is not possible, because if capturing the pawn, this is going to deflect the queen. Queen takes, king back, and then check, and basically black is getting checkmated, and there is no defense. So e takes on f5, and black wants to defend the c pawn with the queen, so queen to f6, but Morphy has the open d file, that's check, blocking with the bishop, and white has a very strong move in this position, which is the best move. Can you guess that move? So Maurian's king is in the center, and already he has a weak position, even though Morphy is a piece down. Can you guess the next move of white? That's f4. So basically undermining the bishop, and also the c pawn is pinned, threatening to capture, and which is going to be a double threat, attacking the queen and also attacking the bishop. So unpinning, and then f takes on e5, and we have knight takes on e5. But you might ask what happens. Basically after knight takes, Paul Morphy captured the bishop, but you might also ask what happens if bishop takes and saving the bishop. Actually white is winning easily with check and then check, and now white has a very strong move. Can you guess that? I think this is a very nice chess puzzle. Potentially this could be a very nice chess puzzle. So this position is very interesting. It is white to move and win. Guess the move. If you want, you can also pause the video. Okay, bishop to d6, did you see this move? Which is going to block the queen, because you can take with the queen, otherwise that's losing the queen. Rook takes queen, and if capturing back with the bishop or with the knight, that is going to block the queen, and we can capture, that's check, unleashing hell on the black king, and there is no reasonable defense. So king to d8 and then capturing the rook, and everything is falling apart. So did you see that bishop check move, which was beautiful? So knight takes, and then rook takes bishop. So rook over, but not exchanging. Paul Morphy is getting back the material, plus he has the attack, check, check, and then rook to b3, sacrificing the rook. Very beautiful stuff, but we have rook over. If capturing the rook, then check, and then check, everything is falling apart, and black is getting checkmated. There is no defense. So rook to b3, basically threatening checkmate, so defending, and then check, and Morphy played a killer move. Can you guess that? What would you do if you had the white pieces? This is very simple. Bishop to d6, and this was the final chess game of Paul Morphy in the database, and what a game it was, forking the knight and the rook. So also threatening checkmate on c7, queen to c7 is going to be checkmate. So if defending with the rook, we can simply capture the knight, and white is a piece up, both attacking the queen and also threatening checkmate. Queen to d8, not right now, but if you move the queen to a silly spot, You can see that this looks very dangerous, and we can also capture the rook. I mean, this position is unplayable. White is a piece up, especially if you are Charles Maurian against Paul Morphy. Maurian was so much more weaker than Paul Morphy. After this position, he has no chance. So this is why after bishop to d6, Maurian decided to resign. And what happens if queen to f7? Then simply bishop takes rook, and this is all over. And right now we are threatening something like rook to d8 as well. So there is no defense. What do you think about this chess game by Paul Morphy? So I hope that you have enjoyed watching this very exciting chess game by Paul Morphy from 1869 from New Orleans, United States. And I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.